Here's Johnny!
For years, the differences between two versions of a Pokemon game for each generation have been pretty minor. It's actually usually a complaint amongst Pokemon fans. Why are you making me buy two versions of the same game? Why are you making me buy a third version or a DLC when I've already bought the other two versions? But this is not the case in Scarlet and Violet. Oh no. The decision that the Pokemon Company made regarding the Paradox Pokémon in Scarlet and Violet has led to the biggest gap in quality between two versions in the franchise's history. The Paradox Pokémon in Violet suck. There, I said it. This is the Boston University robot. Do you remember this guy? Have you ever gone to the store and bought a pack of Pokemon cards with your friends? Maybe you both just get one pack of the first edition base set because you're feeling crazy. Maybe you're feeling generous and let your friend grab the first pack just to be nice. But you end up opening yours first, and not bad, you end up with a holographic Machamp or something along those lines. And now it's your friend's turn. Let's see what he's got. He's ripping it open. Holy. And of course, they pull what seemingly looks like a PSA 10 Holo Charizard. And you're like, yeah, man, good job. And you're happy for your friend, but inside, you're like, God, that should have been my Charizard. If I had just been a little selfish and bought that first pack, it would have been mine. And that gross sense of jealousy just boils over you. And you're feeling like Ash did when Gary stole his Squirtle and left Pallet Town in a convertible followed by cheerleaders. That's a little bit what it feels like as a Pokemon fan who chose Violet over Scarlet. Now over a year later. This feeling primarily has to do with Paradox Pokémon. So today I'm going to be talking about an aspect of the Scarlet and Violet games that has just gotten worse and worse over time. And that, my friends, would be the gap in quality between the Paradox Pokémon in Scarlet and the Paradox Pokémon in Violet. I think it's mostly safe to say that we won't be getting any new Pokémon or updates for Scarlet and Violet. So this is just gonna be a piece of Pokémon history that I wanna make sure gets covered in a video. Hey everybody, I'm Trampled. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. If you didn't enjoy the video, please give it a dislike and a very hateful comment. All right, let's do it. So in early 2022, or I guess Pokemon Day of 2022 if we're being exact, we were given the first teaser for Scarlet and Violet. It had a live action sequence, a very small batch of visuals for the game, and it also revealed the starters. This was a very exciting and unexpected announcement, but it wasn't until the second trailer of the game released in the summer that we were introduced to one of the biggest differences between the two games, Paradox Pokémon. They were introduced in the form of your ride Pokemon for the game, Koraidon and Miraidon, and these would be the two new exciting designs that would grace the cover of the two games. The trailer also gave us a release date for the games and announced that if you'd like to pre-order them now, you certainly could. Now, normally as a collector, I would just buy two physical copies of the games upon their release, but I'm highly addicted to convenience, so this is actually the first series of Pokemon games where I decided I'm just gonna buy one version digitally and have it waiting for me by the time the game comes out. I decided on buying just one of the versions because, well, money. We also have online trading now, so I didn't think that that would be much of an issue. So we've established that I'm buying the game digitally this time around and I'm only getting one version. It wouldn't hurt to just go ahead and pre-order the game, right? Right? Wrong. Keep in mind that none of the other Paradox Pokemon have been released at this point, but look at Miraidon. He's a badass jet dragon. Surely the other Paradox Pokemon in the Violet version are gonna be just as good.
Here's Johnny!
But it felt safe pre-ordering Violet, knowing that I'll be riding around on a robot dragon. But eventually we get another trailer, and we get a short glimpse at the first real Paradox Pokemon reveal, both a variant of Donphan, and this is when the first feeling of dread and regret kicked in, because we get Iron Treads and Great Tusk. Are you kidding me? I don't really know why, but Iron Tread's face reminds me of like the little goblin dudes from Halo. The guys that are always screaming and just getting chucked around by their comrades. But then you look over at Great Tusk and you're like, holy shit, that looks like something you'd ride on your way to face the Spartan army. Now I know what you're thinking. Why not just take the $5 or $10 hit you took pre-ordering Violet and just move all that over to Scarlet? Hell no. This is my hard-earned money, okay? And I'll be damned if Pokemon forces me into spending more money, but the story doesn't end here, because when the games were released, this is what we got. Oh my god. Okay, the DLC's coming out. It's our time to shine. My god, us Violet people are just taking L after L. It's bad. Okay, the DLCs are coming out. They've got to throw us a bone. This is gonna be our time, and... oh, what the fuck? I'm gonna say it again. This is the Boston University robot. You cannot convince me otherwise. In fact, there are a lot of Paradox Pokemon from Violet that have a very similar design. And this leads me to my main point. It's not that I think that the designs of the Violet Paradox Pokemon lack any creativity, or that the designers for the Violet Paradox Pokemon are worse than the designers for the Paradox Pokemon in Scarlet. The problem is that Pokemon from an ancient time that have interesting evolutionary differences from their present day forms is a far superior concept for design than Pokemon based on futuristic forms. Especially if every single one of those Pokemon is just gonna be a robot. Out of all the Scarlet Paradox forms, and we got some bangers in here, I think the only one that I could really do without is Sandy Shocks. When it comes to the Violet Paradox designs, I think it's natural to sort of gravitate toward one or two that you like. For me, it's Iron Valiant and Iron Bundle. I actually love these designs. But when you put them into a collection of Pokemon that share the same theme, and pin that collection of Pokemon against this collection of Pokemon for version differences, you're gonna end up with people like me that experience regret. Now, if you like these designs, more power to you. Art is subjective. But I think most people that bought Violet initially would admit that they wish they had gotten Scarlet at this point. I would know because I'm one of them.